My new fiancé refused to tell her guy best friend that she's engaged to me because she doesn't want to ruin her chances with her backup plan man. My now ex-fiancé, 30 feet, and I, 27 meters, got engaged 3 weeks ago. We've been dating for 5 years, and I finally had enough money to give her the wedding she wanted. 3 days ago, we were discussing our guest list, and I asked if she wanted to invite her best friend, James, 30 meters. James lives in another state, but since they've been friends for 10 years, I thought I could even pay for his travel expenses as it would be great to have her best friend at the wedding. She declined, saying that it would take too much work to bring him and that she wanted it to be a family event. She's mentioned countless times that James is like family to her, so I insisted. She got annoyed and then said, "I didn't even tell him we were engaged." That took me by surprise. So I tried asking her why, but she started stonewalling me, and I left her alone. After a couple of hours, I tried asking her again why she hadn't told him we were engaged, and she still refused to tell me. I admit my insecurity got the better of me. In the past, James had confessed feelings for her, which she turned down and basically friend-zoned him. But from how she described things, it always felt like she was keeping him as a backup, something not only I noticed, but her exes had as well. She married him online. They always made their WoW characters look like a couple, like wearing the same transmog and things like that. Whenever she fought with her exes, he was always there for her and so on. I told her that all of this made me uncomfortable, and if she wasn't planning to tell him, she might as well consider herself single because I wasn't going to marry someone who couldn't be honest. Yes. I was pretty immature about it, but she responded in an even more immature way. She texted him while showing me her phone saying something like, "Hey, just so you know, I was engaged, but not anymore," and sent it to him. I told her to pack her things and leave my house. Ever since she left, she's been calling me, but I've refused to answer. My mom called me. Apparently my ex called her and said I was an idiot for ending things over such a ridiculous reason. Was I wrong for this? Relevant comments. Comment 1. There is a reason she won't tell her best friend she plans on getting married. I mean, most women see getting married as one of the biggest moments in life and tell everyone they know. The only reason to hold back would be if it dampens something. Boyfriends don't enjoy hearing their girlfriends are getting married. Comment 2. So your ex-fiancé didn't want to tell her boyfriend about you. Unless you're poly, this sounds like a good reason to end an engagement. If you want to confirm she was cheating, offer to meet up with her for lunch. When you're there, tell her if she wants any chance with you. She needs to unlock her phone so you can read all the messages between them across all media. I'm sure you'll find enough to confirm that leaving is the best choice. Poly allows you to make rules based on what you and your partner agree on. I've known a few people in successful don't ask, don't tell polyamorous relationships, though that's not everyone's approach. With my 16 years of experience in polyamory, I prefer kitchen table poly, but I respect people's choices. People should have the freedom to build relationships that work for them. Update 1. Hey, everyone. I just got home after talking with my, still, ex-fiancé, and since a lot of people wanted an update, here it is. But first, I want to clarify a few things. As I mentioned in my original post, I paid for the house since I bought it before we started dating. I asked her to move in because it was close to her job. I work from home in tech, so I bought her a car to help with her commute. And honestly, her salary isn't great. I was her partner, so I didn't see any issue with that. I thought she was the one. Despite everything, she's smart, funny, and we had chemistry, but I felt betrayed. To the update, we met at a coffee shop under the premise that we would discuss saving our relationship, or at least, that's what she thought. As soon as we sat down, I asked to see her messages with James. She got defensive and said she had deleted everything, but I asked to see her phone anyway. She started to cry, really ugly crying, asking me to stop. By this point, I'd already decided not to continue the relationship, but I was curious. After about 20 minutes of crying and a waitress even asking her if she was okay, she finally handed me her phone. There wasn't any outright cheating, no exchanged nudes or professions of love, but what I read still stung. There was a lot of trash talk about me. Message after message of them saying how terrible I was, criticizing my hobbies, I like video games and pro wrestling, saying I wasn't a real man because of them, and so on. But there were 2 points that caught my eye. One message where she told him I was having trouble in bed, which frustrated her, and another where she complained about feeling stuck in our relationship. Yes. I was struggling in bed, but it was because I was grieving my father who passed away 6 months ago. As for the stuck comment, I remember telling her that when we got married, she could leave her job if she wanted, and I'd provide for both of us. I don't know if she took this the wrong way, but I assume that's what she meant. By the time I handed her phone back, she was already trying to explain, saying he was like a therapist to her. Then she asked, "Don't you complain about me to your friends?" I simply replied, "No. I don't." She started crying again. I took a deep breath and said, "Just give me the ring back." I didn't have the ring with me, like some had suggested. She hesitated, but handed it over. I stood up and asked her to delete my number and to leave me alone. I called her mom to arrange for her to pick up her daughter's things. Her mom is a good person, and as I post this, I realize I'll miss her. She understood my decision and didn't pry, which I appreciated. As for my own mom, I didn't call her. I blocked her for reasons unrelated to this post. I realize she never truly supported me. Just to clarify, I was never against her having male friends or any friends. People cheat with or without friends. My dad used to say, "Opportunity makes the thief," but I don't agree with that. I have the next 2 weeks off work, so I'll figure out what to do with the wedding money, have a few drinks, play some games, and watch Monday Night Raw. Edit: a few people asked about the car. It's a 2015 Nissan Versa, which she crashed twice, both times rear-ending someone. I never liked the car, weak engine, cheap interior. So for all I care, she can keep that piece of junk. I'd have better luck throwing it off a cliff than selling it. Edit 2. Her mom called me a few hours ago to check on me and to ask when she could pick up my ex's things. We discussed the car, and she basically forbid me from letting her daughter keep it because, 1, I paid for it, and 2, I wouldn't be able to maintain it. So I'm keeping it until I can sell it. God help me. Some people questioned if this story is real, saying I'm not a real man for gaming. That's on me as I wasn't clear. The real man comment was more about my wrestling hobby than my gaming. In some messages, they clearly mocked me for playing games like Life is Strange. I remember James saying, "How could a grown man play such a girly game and cry?" Yes. I cried playing Life is Strange. I also cried to Red Dead Redemption 2. The "I'm afraid" cutscene still gets me. Guess I'm a crybaby. Thank you to everyone who messaged me to talk about wrestling and games. It really helped me take my mind off things. If anything else happens, I'll let you know. Be good people. Update 2. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who reached out in my DMs and commented saying nice things. It felt really good, and I appreciate y'all. Some of you actually made me tear up with your kind messages. I want to express my gratitude for everyone who gave me advice, told their own story, or just told me I was a cool guy. Reading your messages before posting this felt amazing. I also want to say I thought about my engagement a lot, and I have no regrets whatsoever. Yeah. Things ended badly, and she was not a good person to me at the end, but I just don't hate her nor do I wish for her to fail. We had good moments. I felt happy with her, and again, I really thought she was the one. Feeling hatred was going to harm me more than her. To the update, her mom came to pick up her stuff and we talked for hours. It felt like therapy. I cried on her shoulders. We laughed. She expressed how much I meant to her family and that I would be always welcome in her home. It felt so good to hear her say those things to me. Before she left, she asked me if I wanted to ask about my ex. I got curious and asked how she was doing. Her words were she's trying to act stoic, but I know my daughter. She's not taking this well. I left it at that. She gave me a hug and left. About the car, I'm going to donate it and get a tax write-off. But to the thing I'm excited about is that I'm going to Royal Rumble. I never even watched Raw or SmackDown live, but now that I have the extra cash, I'm going to treat myself. Again, thank you all for reaching out. Sorry to the people who love drama that this update doesn't have an unwanted pregnancy, a fight, chaos, or a plot twist. The truth is that my life is just really, really boring. Update 3. Hello, guys. Most of you might not remember me because my original post was 2 months ago, but something happened that I thought was worthy of an update. Well, since the breakup, I tried to be as busy as possible. Go to work, gym, play on my new Switch. On weekends, I started modding and repairing old consoles, a hobby that turned out to be quite expensive, not gonna lie. I even modded my own Switch. Sorry, Nintendo. And I was managing to get through the days without feeling sad. Well, yesterday, my ex-mother-in-law called me to catch up on things. She has been calling me every week or so and invited me to spend Christmas at her house with her family. I immediately refused because even if I don't hate my ex, there are other people I would rather spend the holidays with. But then she said something that kinda made me a bit sad. She said my ex was not going to be there since she was spending her Christmas with James since they are now kinda dating, her words. I replied that I was not sure if I would go. I'm going to be honest. Feelings are complex things. Maybe my pride or ego is hurt since I feel she moved on really quickly. Maybe I still have feelings. I don't know. 2 months is not a long time when it comes to this stuff. My ex-mother-in-law noticed my tone changed and said, "Look, sweetie, it's up to you. If you want to come, you're more than welcome." I thanked her. We said our goodbyes and hung up. I know how you guys usually respond about those things, so I'm giving my insight right now. My ex-mother-in-law had no intention of making me sad. She is a really honest person, and I do believe she was just explaining that it was okay for me to go since my ex wouldn't be there. So, yeah, I'm feeling kinda crap right now, but it will pass. Maybe I even change my mind and go spend Christmas with them. Ex-mother-in-law's food is one of the best I ever ate. I wouldn't mind a free plate low. And I want to apologize to the people who sent DMs about buying the car. By the time I saw your messages, I already had donated. That's it. Happy holidays to everyone. Update 4. Hey, everyone. I read your comments and people were really divided about me spending Christmas with my ex's family. There are people that said I should move on and decline the invitation. That way my healing process would be a lot better and faster. There were also people who told me to go to piss off my ex to be close to them since they care about me. A lot of you guys had really great points on both opinions. Well, I texted my ex-mother-in-law this morning and told her I wasn't going to spend Christmas with her and her family. The idea of healing resonated with me a lot more than the idea of pissing my ex off because if I'm petty, that would actually show her that I somehow still care, and I don't want her to get that idea. The opposite of love isn't hate, but indifference. And honestly, ex-mother-in-law would be the only person I would feel comfortable interacting with because don't know her family that much since they live in another state. Also, I was thinking about my extended family in Brazil, and I'm wondering if I should plan a trip to meet a year from now. That gives me time to save some more money and travel without having to worry about that. I have my aunt, dad's sister, on Facebook. I'm gonna contact her to see if I can meet them and get to know them a bit more. See how this goes. Thanks everyone. Be good people. Relevant comments. Comment 1. Dude, it hurts like a cow and there is no way around that, but see it this way. She was already emotionally cheating on you before and you ended it on your terms and way before you married her. She's shown you who she really was. So major bullet dodged there. She's James' problem now. Wish you the best and stay strong. Comment 2. Well, keeping a backup plan is exactly that. Take solace in the fact she doesn't even love this guy because if she did, she wouldn't have kept him on the back burner for years, but she did. And that guy will now be crazy jealous and worried he is a second best choice because he is. P.S. I'm a girl, and what the F is wrong with pro wrestling? I watched it in Rock/Stone Cold era, which to be honest is when it was the absolute crap.